Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for today's webinar. I am Casey. I work here at B3IT as a business intelligence consultant. I will be today's moderator for our webinar on analytics and visualization possibilities. Today, we are going to be comparing 3 different analytics platforms, including SAC, known as SAP Analytics Cloud, versus Microsoft Power BI versus Tableau. Starting with SAP Analytics Cloud. SAP Analytics Cloud is a solution that combines business intelligence, augmented and predictive analytics, as well as planning capabilities into one cloud environment. As the analytics layer of SAP's business technology platform, it supports advanced analytics enterprise-wide. Here we have a diagram of the SAC architecture. And some of the best features of SAC are that you have one tool for visualizations, planning, budgeting, and predictive functions, all in one software system. It also allows for tight integration with other SAP products, and you can change data in your S4 system from SAC. And the key feature is business technology platform and APIs, so anything is doable. And if you have a large investment in business objects, then no rework is needed. Moving on to Microsoft Power BI, this tool allows you to easily connect to model and visualize your data, creating memorable reports, personalized with your KPIs and brand. Here we have another diagram of the Power BI architecture, and this is a business analytics solution with a desktop tool for the development of visualizations. It allows for easy sharing of insights, embedding in apps or websites. Power BI is easier to learn, and it has tight integration with Microsoft Azure machine learning services, as well as Office 365 and Power Apps. And analysts who are used to working on Microsoft databases such as Access and Excel tend to gear towards Power BI as it is Microsoft as well. For Tableau, this is another visual analytics platform transforming the way that we use data to solve problems. Here we have Tableau's architecture, and it is a business intelligence tool, again, used for visually analyzing the data. Users can create and distribute an interactive and shareable dashboard, which depict the trends, variations, and density of the data in the forms of graphs and charts. In Tableau, you can connect to files and relational and big data sources to acquire and process data, and the software allows data blending and real-time collaboration, which makes it unique. Now, I did just go over some of the differences, but again, to recap between the three with SAP Analytics Cloud, as I mentioned, this is a tool that offers BI, planning, predictive, and app design, and it resides on SAP Business Technology Platform. One thing that they all have in common is that they are all software as a service based online service. This means that they are accessible through a browser. However, there is a difference between SAC and the other two, which is that SAC can only be accessed through a browser, and through the browser, you go through a portal in the Analytics Hub to get to SAC. However, with Microsoft Power BI and Tableau, while you can access them through a browser, you can also access them through a desktop tool application, which SAC does not have. However, all three of them offer the ability to access through mobile devices, so they have mobile compatibility. One key feature of SAC, though, that the other two do not have is a digital boardroom. And a digital boardroom is great for collaboration because it is basically an area that you can showcase finished reports and dashboards, and it works like a meeting. Users can go in and see the finished product without being able to edit or go into those reports. When it comes to some of the limitations for Microsoft Power BI, Microsoft Power BI has rigid rules in place for handling table joins within a database. So this can lead to problems for users who need multiple joins from a single table. So this is something to keep in mind. With SAP Analytics Cloud, there are a few limitations as well. There are fewer third-party integrations available, but on the flip side, it solidly integrates with SAP and most enterprise solutions. It is very compatible with other SAP systems, which is the bright side. With Tableau, it does lack data modeling and data dictionary capabilities. It also lacks version control and collaboration when building data logic and dashboards. And so those are just some things to keep in mind if those are very important for you. Now we are moving on to the different key features, comparing the three. They are broken down by category. We are starting with the category of reporting key features. So here we can see them listed. SAP Analytics Cloud and Tableau both have really good reporting features. They have all of them. Power BI has is missing a few, such as benchmarking, performance metrics, profitability analysis, and trend problem indicators. However, it does have everything else. When it comes to data connectivity key features, here we can see the different ones that for each, and we can see that they all have HANA, live connection, BW, live connection with some limitations. Same thing with the HANA and BW imports. Just some limitations for Power BI and Tableau. They all have the ability for Excel and SQL or other RDBMS. There's some limitations for SAC, but as we can see here, there are a lot of data connectivity options for all. When it comes to modeling data, these are the key features. They're all able to append data, have unions for data, merges and joins, some limitations with SAC. They can all do advanced calculations, and so on. When it comes to visualization, key features, they can pretty much all do the same: basic and advanced charts, controls and filters, chart extensions, and so on, just some limitations. And for exploration, again, they can do everything. There are just some limitations for dashboards and applications for each, and that is because each is unique in its own way, so they are different. When it comes to mobile BI features, we can see what they all support for the mobile apps, desktops, for others, and we also can see what they support for notifications, push notifications, and events and alerts. For advanced features, we can see here for predictive analytics and planning analytics and others. One thing, they all have pretty much everything for predictive, but SAC does not have Python integration. So if Python is used a lot by your company, then SAC may not be the best option, but Power BI and Tableau have that. Going on from that, with planning, we can see SAC has good planning, built-in capabilities, and basic integration, but Power BI and Tableau have some limitations and also aren't able to at all with built-in capabilities. And we can see the rest. When it comes to planning and budgeting features in SAC specifically, because SAC is really big on planning and budgeting. We can see that there is version management where data is broken down into categories, so it's easy to keep track of and have it be organized into your actual data, your planning data, your budget data, your forecast data, and your rolling forecast data. And then you have the ability to automatically generate BDTs based on existing models. You are also able to visually configure multiple allocations, rules per system, including source elements, allocation driver, and target elements. And a neat feature about SAC is that there is a calendar which enables users to create and manage their planning workflow by creating various task types. Now we will be going into the different licensing types. And starting with SAP Analytics Cloud, there are 4, which are the Analytics Hub, Business Intelligence, Planning Standard, and Planning Professional. Each has different capabilities. And so in the 2 diagrams on the left here, we can see on top, users A through E each just have 1 license assigned to them, but it is possible, if we look in the below diagram, to have multiple licenses assigned to one user. You can combine them, and so they have more capabilities. So it depends on what each user will need for your company, but it is possible to combine if needed. When it comes to licensing types for Microsoft Power BI, there are 3 versions: the free, the pro, and the premium. And we can see what they each offer here in this diagram. And then when it comes to Tableau, there are 2 different types, which are licensing types, which are user-based and core-based, and they are listed here. Now we will be discussing what a sample output of a data visualization report looks like, or a dashboard. Starting with SAC, this is one example of a report, and this is also showcasing what the planning feature looks like. As I mentioned earlier, I talked about how you can see the planning in their calendar feature, and this is that. And so we can see it is broken down by the year of 2021 by month. And what's really nice about this is you can plan by the day, by the month, by the period or quarter of the year, or by the year, and have your data showcased like this, and you can add on so you can continue planning for the future. And these are other visualizations that you can see and KPIs. And same with Power BI, or similarly, we can see another dashboard report. There is a similar calendar feature here for planning, and again, visualizations and KPIs. And again, similar but different with Tableau. We can see an example of what it looks like. And now we are moving on to the question and answer section. Starting with the first category of connectors, what are the direct connections to systems ECC 6.0, not for HANA? So for this, for SAC, you can create a connection that allows to import data from an SAP ERP system, and only connectivity to classic SAP InfoSec queries or SAP queries is supported. For Power BI, there is no direct connection from Power BI to SAP ECC, but we can connect through ECC backend database or SAP HANA database and BW. And with Tableau, we can connect SAP HANA database and SAP BW. For Microsoft SQL servers, for the import connection for SAC to a Microsoft SQL server, this requires a Cloud Connector agent installation and a JDBC configuration as a prerequisite. And for live connection, you can do this via HANA. system, SDA. And so next with Power BI, we can connect through import and direct connection type. And with Tableau, we can connect through MySQL server connector. And for this, we need to pre-install the driver. When it comes to connectors for cloud data, for SAC, there are live connection connectors and acquired connection connectors, and they are listed there. And for Power BI and Tableau, we have them listed. There are many. When it comes to data management, for storage, where is the data stored in SAC? For live data and live data connection, all data and models from the source system are directly used by the analytics cloud. And for acquired data, all data and models are stored in SAP Analytics Cloud in memory on a database. For Power BI, this uses the Microsoft Azure Active Directory to store and manage user identities, manages the storage of data and metadata using Azure BLOB and Azure SQL database, respectively. For Tableau, the Tableau workbook has a data extract, and the visualization is published to Tableau server. The data extract is stored on the Tableau server. For refreshes and scheduling jobs, in SAC, when you create a data model from a data source or import data into an existing model, an import job is automatically created as well so that you can schedule data imports or exports. For Power BI, you can schedule through the schedule refresh plan. And for Tableau, you can refresh the extract using desktop by selecting a data source on the data menu and then selecting extract and refresh. When it comes to data management, for manipulation, what are the data transformation tools included for each? So for SAC, you can perform data transformation in the data model creation. Similarly, in Power BI, you can do so in the data transform option. And for Tableau, you can perform data transformation in the Tableau prep tool that allows you to extract data from a variety of sources, then transform that data and output that data to a Tableau data extract for analysis. And when it comes to calculations for users, how easy or difficult are they to do for the intended user? They are not difficult at all. You don't need to be an advanced user to do calculations. Anyone is capable of learning and being able to do them. So with that said, for SAC, we have them listed what you can do. So you can do calculations in the models, stories, applications, and through scripts by doing calculated measures, calculated dimensions, cross calculations, and currency conversions. Similarly, in Power BI, you could do calculated measures and columns. And then in Tableau, similarly, you can do basic calculations, level of detail expressions, table calculations, and calculated field. For data visualization, what are the output options, such as dashboards and reports and so on? I did showcase a few examples previously of what they may look like, but to list them out, what they each have for SAC, supports analytic applications, stories, digital boardrooms, and PDFs. Power BI also supports PDFs, dashboards, reports, PowerPoints, and downloaded reports. And Tableau supports dashboards, PDF files, PowerPoint, and so on, all very similar. When it comes to interactivity, how do users interact with it? So the users can interact in different ways. They can interact through all have the ability, all three platforms, to do so through discussions and comments on reports. In SAC, you can also create composite tasks and input tasks on calendar projects. For Power BI, you can also chat with the team and subscribe on Power BI server. And when it comes to publishing and distribution, is there like a BI like Launchpad platform? And no, there is no BI Launchpad like platform because SAC is on the cloud. Therefore, you can publish stories applications through Content Network. For Power BI, you can publish reports on the Power BI service account. And for Tableau, you can do so on the Tableau server account. And then when it comes to direct cloud access subscriptions, they all have trial accounts to try out. SAC's is 90 days free trial, Power BI's is 60 days, and Tableau is 14 days. We have not showcased the cost of licensing because it is different for every user and for every company based on your needs, but the free trial versions are the same for everyone. And that is it. This concludes our webinar. Thank you for listening.